This is a TalkStation original podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Paper Boys podcast. I'm JJ Smith.
I'm Zack Nally.
We're doing our annual high school basketball previews, and we're joined in the studio by Croatan girls basketball coach and Croatan football coach, who's busy this week, Andrew Gurley. Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Yeah, we were just talking about this is week one of the official week one. I guess West Carteret actually started high school's winter season Friday night, but in totality, everybody's pretty much starting this week, and you're playing a third-round football game this week. You got a lot going on this week.
A lot going on. Wouldn't have it any other way. That's nice. Nice to stay busy.
Well, Andrew Gurley is riding high these days. Not only does he have the best football team in school history with 10 wins in the first time in the third round ever, but he's got a basketball team that's coming off an 18-2 season.
Yeah.
10-0 in the conference.
Yep.
First. Made it to the second round of the playoffs. If there is any disappointment, I guess it would be that. We bring back just about everybody. What are the Cougars going to look like in 25-26?
Yeah, we're excited for this year. I mean, we're still young in the season. It's still early on. Hadn't played a game yet, but I'm excited about what we got. I mean, we got a lot of returning players, a lot of experience coming back, and anytime you can have that, that's going to be key. And we also add some new people as well. Got some new faces and some freshmen, some girls that have moved up from JV, and overall, I tell you, I really like, I like what we've got. Defensively is kind of where we hung our hat, and from what I've seen early on, that's going to be the key this year. But I think we've also got the ability to score the ball, and so yeah, it's going to be fun.
Give us like 30 seconds to a minute on each of these. Neely McMahon.
Yes. So Neely, obviously 4-year varsity player, team captain, unbelievable scorer. She can shoot the basketball. Just Neely is even keel. She doesn't get, super excited when things go great. She doesn't get down in the dumps when things go bad. She's just never changes. And she's a great leader by example that way. And she's kind of the heartbeat of our team. She has been for 4 years now. So great player, great competitor.
And conference and News Times Player of the Year.
Yes.
Leah Johnson, who was a freshman last year.
I tell you, Leah loves the game. She's what you would call, a gym rat. She loves the gym. She loves working on her game, and she's improved a ton just from her freshman to sophomore year. And I'm super excited about the potential that she has to kind of build the career that I envision her being able to build. And I tell you, she's come in kind of with her head down, ready to work, and I'm excited to see her what she's able to do this year.
Sonny Johnson, who was a sophomore last year.
Yep. Sonny will be a junior for us. Sonny, probably one of the best vocal leaders we have on the team. I mean, just unbelievable communicator. Defensively, she's kind of that glue player that you want on your team. Somebody that just does everything as hard as she can go. Like I said, just very vocal. Definitely the voice of our team, and knows how to she has a great sense of humor, knows when to laugh, but knows when to be serious too. And the girls kind of see that and kind of feed off of her from that.
And you said you could see that during volleyball season. That's the kind of leader she was.
Absolutely.
And I'll combine these two, and you can combine them with Neely as well, because it's that three-headed senior guards: Hannah Buchanan, Landry Clifton, Neely McMahon, and you're going to count on those three a lot, right?
Yeah, it's kind of bittersweet this year with them being seniors. I felt like, I definitely want to make the most of this year with those three because they've been with me for 4 years. And, it's fun seeing how they've, grown not just as basketball players, but as young ladies. And, like I said, it's going to be bittersweet. But together, those three, I mean, they're almost unstoppable. I mean, if you've added up all the games that they've played together, throughout 3 going into 4 years now, it's unbelievable, what they've done together, and the things they've been able to accomplish together has been pretty special.
Well, let me ask you this. We've spoken to some coaches that talk about, when you get a class in and you don't always know what the ceiling is going to be.
Yeah.
You can see flashes of commitment and talent and skill and that sort of thing. But, there are some classes that come in where like, oh, this is going to be something really special. And some where you're like, it could go either way.
Yeah.
When these girls came on as freshmen, did you know that they were going to have this kind of success?
It's funny because when they came in, it was right after we graduated Allie Roth,
right.
Kelly Haggerty,
there,
Savannah McAloon, Natalie Show.
Yeah.
They were about a year after they graduated. A year later, they came in as freshmen. And I think the comparison, to be unfair to these three,
Absolutely.
you kind of compared them to those four.
Sure.
And I was like, I don't know if that's the right thing to do, but you saw so many similarities. Not just the fact that they were kind of thrown into the mix as freshmen, but over the years you kind of see it like, dang, maybe we were right by comparing them, because they were a lot more similar than what you thought. I think the biggest thing is just how competitive they are. That reminds me of that group with Allie and Kelly of them. I mean, they just knew how to win. They knew how to win in whatever it took. And that's exactly how these girls are.
Well, and it's funny you bring that up, and I don't want to be rude. As a sports reporter, I wasn't sure about the competitiveness part of the formula with this group, because and I think it's so hard for us to judge.
Well, you're judging the end product next to the beginning product.
But I'm also you're judging 13, 14-year-old or however freshmen
Right.
coming in, and there's a little bit of a deer in the headlights for varsity level.
No doubt.
And
I always say you're going from competing against 13-year-olds to 18-year-olds.
Yeah, and that jump from freshman to sophomore, from sophomore to junior, you don't you have a much more intimate view of that growth, of that development, and I wasn't sure, and so I'm so tickled and pleased, and it's awesome to see how they've come along.
Well, I think you always, as a coach, you always look at the big picture, and you always, obviously you got short-term goals and short-term success, but then you got to think about the long term as well. And they, to their credit, I mean, they took their lumps, as freshmen and even sophomores. They still, I remember with Allie and Kelly and them. I mean, it was almost a complete 180 from their freshman year. I think they won. What, 5 games their freshman year, and I think we won over 20 their sophomore year.
It
wasn't quite
jump,
that much
18,
with this group.
17,
it wasn't quite that much with this group, but just taking the kind of the big picture into account, just knowing, hey, if we bide our time, it's going to pay off for these girls, because them getting this experience now, as freshmen, it's going to pay off by the time they're juniors and seniors, and it has.
Looked like we were going to bring back just almost everybody, but we did lose a transfer in Layla Sharon, who went to a prep school in Raleigh, and Durham. She had a really good freshman year for you.
Yes, she did. Yes, she did a great job coming in and playing the point for us, and also helped us out on the defensive side of things. And Layla's another one that loves the game, and just is always looking to improve, and not having somebody that like that hurts. But we're excited about, the girls we've got coming up that, hoping, by committee can help kind of fill that void that Layla left. But, yeah, we're excited. Wished her all the best of luck and hope she does well at the school she's at now.
And because she transferred, it sets up this very unique dynamic where you had a freshman point guard who was really good. She leaves. Now you have a freshman point guard coming in who's really you're going to have back-to-back freshman point guards.
Yeah.
And Baker Smith, right?
Yeah, Baker Smith. Yeah, Baker. So obviously Baker's one that kind of keeping up with Broad Creek and their seasons over the last couple of years. We knew Baker kind of like we did some of these other girls coming up, with Leah and some of the others. And, so kind of knew what to expect, what kind of style of play Baker has. And, I tell you, she fits right in with our team. Defensively, she does a great job of, kind of slowing things down for the other team, and great on-ball defender, and I think she's going to be okay too on the offensive side. I mean, she's got to learn kind of that multitask role of being the distributor, but also looking to score and kind of being that balanced attack that we're looking for in our offensive system. But I think she's going to do just fine.
She's a standout soccer player, and you know that you had Kelly Haggerty and Allie Roth and Savannah McAloon. They were all soccer players, and you said you love soccer players on the basketball court.
I do. I mean, well, that a lot of them now, especially they usually play soccer year round. If they're not playing basketball year round, soccer is usually a sport. At least they're playing, a fall and a spring season with, and I mean, I feel like they're always in shape. You can't make them tired, and obviously basketball's a high conditioned sport. You got to be in shape, and so that's always been a benefit of ours, having girls that are well conditioned. So
a lot of multi-sport athletes at Croatan. There's not a lot of pure. I mean, there might be pure basketball players at heart, but they still play everything.
Yeah, I think really the main sports that I've noticed is more like the cross country, indoor track, outdoor track. Those athletes kind of stick to more of the running sports, but everywhere else, you do see quite a bit of diversity there as far as girls playing multiple sports, and it's good.
Oh, we mentioned a lot of names. Who haven't we mentioned that's going to be contributors or be in the rotation this year?
Yeah, well, Allison Wayner is a sophomore that we fifth quartered her last year, and we've got her full time on varsity now. And Allison's kind of that. She can kind of play inside, but she can play outside as well on the perimeter, and she's going to be a great rebounder for us, and really good on the defensive side. Got a great shot. Her offensive game came a long way last year. Showed a ton of improvement. Zoe Georgiadis, Emmy Bird, those are some that are coming up from the JV team. Our JV team went undefeated last year.
Oh, wow.
And so getting some of the key pieces from that team up. Yeah.
What a cycle.
Yeah. Julianne Winters is one of our other seniors. That makes four seniors, and Julianne's going to be a key player for us coming off the bench. And, I mentioned Allison and Zoe and Sonny, mentioned her earlier, and Baker, and Kira Yuli's another freshman we're excited about. That we'll fifth quarter Kira. She's going to help the JV team out as much as she can, but she'll dress with us and play with us as well.
So I think you'll have a little bit of depth this year.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Probably more than we've had in a while.
Makes it tough on a coach.
It does. It does and it doesn't.
Yeah.
And something you don't think about about a game is, every game you're going to have some sort of, I don't want to say foul trouble, but situations foul-wise.
Sure,
and it's nice because, let's say Neely gets her first foul within the first 2 minutes. In the past, we kind of had to ride that out and just hope she doesn't get her second. Now we can maybe, take her out for a little bit and save that, that second foul.
3 kids get the flu or whatever.
You never know. You never know. Yeah. The biggest thing I like about it, and I think this is complete coach talk. I don't know if anybody else would think of it like this, but it's the competitiveness in practice. And I think I told you the same thing about our football team. Our scout offense and scout defense in football, I feel like sometimes, depending on week in and week out, almost gives us a better look than what we're going to see on, some Friday nights, in the regular season. Same thing in practice. We get a great look basketball-wise in practice. And it's hard to simulate another team's offensive style or defensive style, but as far as talent level and being able to compete, man, I tell you, they push each other pretty hard in practice. They compete.
It's funny to look at the success the program is having right now, and to think that a few years ago you were feeling a little bit of pressure, not from the success, but from the time commitment to maybe pick one sport over the other. Maybe not.
When you took
both.
Over for football.
Yeah. And I know that coaching is not just about winning at this level. But you look at something like 4 years ago where basketball team was 4-14, football team was 4-7. You're more focused on character and culture and things like that. But 18-2 last year, you get most of your people back. Your JV team went undefeated. Your football team is having unprecedented. Is it more fun right now?
Well, definitely more fun. I mean, winning's a lot of fun.
I know that's a dumb question, but does it make the day-to-day a little bit more?
Well, it does, but I like that you brought that up, because during those times, yes, my wife and I, we've had those conversations. Should I focus on one sport? And she's been very supportive of me doing both. And I try to make them as involved as I can. Through both sports.
On it. The Gurley clan is
basketball.
Be at those.
Basketball's a little bit easier to have them involved, and helping out with things in the game. And as our kids are getting older, they're able to help, with water on the sidelines and stuff like that. Our boys are going to be ball boys for football, coming up. So, they're able to help out and have roles there. But, I think the biggest thing through those years we were not winning, for both sports, I think the biggest thing that just kept coming back to me was loyalty. I want it to be loyal to my players. Mm-hmm. I don't want to turn and walk away from them just because we don't have a good year, just because 1 or 2 years don't go the way we hope it does. I wanted to continue to work through those moments, and obviously it having years like this helps with moments like that, because it's a lot of it's cyclical, and it cycles through, and some of those years they were tough, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed going to work every day, going to practice every day, getting to get out there and compete. and it kind of makes years like this when you do have some success, it makes them a little bit more sweeter.
Yeah.
Well, dig me. I'm old. Check out this gray in the beard. Been at the paper almost 20 years now. There was a guy at Southwest Onslow a few years ago. I want to say his last name was Williams, and he was the football coach
Yep.
and the boys varsity basketball coach.
Yep.
Other than him and you, I don't recall any others doing football and varsity basketball.
Yeah.
It's a rare thing.
And he wasn't the head coach of football.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Charlie Dempsey was.
Okay.
Yeah, Coach
That's
Williams.
true.
He was the head girls coach for basketball.
Well, you're the only one I've ever known of then.
Yeah.
Are there other? I mean, you
Do you know anybody?
Are there any peers?
I know some
in
that
your
obviously
industry?
did football and wrestling, like Coach Perry.
Right.
There's coaches that do
We're
that, or
talking
football and
revenue
baseball.
here.
Wow.
No,
Shots
you know
across
what I
Perry's
mean.
back.
Not that I know of. I know some that are assistants.
Sure.
Yeah,
and then
it's
head
a
coaching
man.
the
It's,
other.
You're literally the only one I've ever known to do it.
Yeah.
It's a rare
I
thing.
want to say there's got to be more than
Well,
that.
and this is probably no more fun handoff than right now where you're coming off of. I mean,
Yeah.
no matter what happens with the football program from here, this week, it's been an incredible run.
Yeah.
And then
a lot of people say the football sets the tone for the whole year for school. They feel like,
Yeah. I think that makes a lot
athletically
of sense.
speaking,
Like,
it sets a vibe.
for involvement by the student
Yeah,
section
and
or
just
the,
how
or the
good
parents.
the other
Sure,
teams do.
sure.
Somehow they carry
Well, that's
over.
certainly true at like the collegiate level. But
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
right. I
yeah,
think at
yeah,
high
yeah.
school, it probably the kids buy in.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the ones on the team, but the rest of the school.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
The spirit permeates the whole student body kind of
Well,
thing.
that's the question then. Do you feel like that's happening right now at Croatan? Is there
Absolutely.
an excited buzz going on with
Yeah,
that?
absolutely. I mean, you see the student section, they've had to move it like
I saw.
to the
Yeah,
fence there
yeah,
by the
yeah.
concession stand. I think because it's gotten so big and just seeing people lined up, 3, 4, 5 people deep around the fence and, just the excitement that we have around our team. And, we score a touchdown on that end in that end zone. I mean, they're going crazy. And, there definitely is a buzz and excitement. And I think the guys are feeding off of that, and they love to see it.
Probably about a dozen people wearing Bobby Boucher jerseys last Friday night.
100%.
What's that about?
Andrew Boucher.
Oh, sure. Man,
I think Brian North has dubbed him the water boy. Said he doesn't play like a water
I
boy.
think that is one of, to me, in the last 12 years of me being a part of high school sport, that is one of the most interesting stories.
Yeah.
Because I remember people being like, why is he playing football? Why is he playing running back? He's going to get, he's so small. And boy, he has.
Jeez.
Well, so both his older brothers played soccer,
And
really good soccer players.
We're quite of stature.
I was going to say, they were taller kids.
And Andrew, in the offseason, plays travel soccer.
To
he's
Wilmington.
very,
Oh, yeah, like
very
high
talented
level.
at that.
Yeah.
I mean, he
He could have done either one.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But we're thankful he chose football.
Paul Slater loses out and Andrew Gurley wins.
Well, the world wins right now.
Give us a 30-minute breakdown of the conference. What do you think it's going to look like?
Yeah, I think a lot of teams, lost some seniors from last year.
Yeah, a lot of seniors in the Coastal Conference.
Yeah, Swansboro West.
Yep.
I think Dixon even lost a few. Richlands. I think Richlands has got a lot of girls back.
Yeah.
Obviously, adding Northside and Havelock. We saw Havelock last year in non-conference. Northside, don't know a ton about them yet, but yeah, I think it'll be competitive for sure. I think anytime you bring some new schools in and then you add in the mix of you're starting to kind of build some rivalries within the conference, not like ones that have already been there, but kind of new ones as well. And I think it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and especially I think with basketball it's a different element because you play everybody twice. Football, you see them once, that's it. Basketball, you got to go to their place, they got to come to your place. You kind of get that automatic opportunity for some payback if you lose the first time around, and I think that makes it exciting. Plus, it's hard to when you see a team a second time, there's no surprises anymore. So
Right.
you get some really good basketball when that happens.
And sometimes you play Havelock twice in football, though.
That's
That's
true.
right. That is true.
That's true.
Not by
Not by choice.
Not by choice. That's all right.
By success.
That's right. There you
Well,
go.
Coach, good luck to you Friday night. Good luck to you this winter with the girls basketball team, and we're looking forward to covering you.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys.
Anyway.